The Paldea region, the most recent region introduced in the Pokemon franchise. It has released a total of 120 new Pokemon, but out of all of them, which of them is the strongest? So here we go, calculating the greatest Paldean Pokemon. The scores Pokemon will receive will depend on the following factors.
First is their base stat. Their stats will be split into the following categories: bulk, which will be the Pokemon's defensive stat, plus their HP, and offense, which will be the higher one of their offensive stat, multiplied by 2, plus their speed stat. The category that gets the higher score will be their build score. They will also get a score equal to half of their other build, and classify whether they are a tank or a sweeper. If the score between the two are between 10, the Pokemon will be classified as hybrid. Sweepers will be further subcategorized into physical sweeper and special sweeper. However, subcategorized sweepers moveset will only contain moves compatible with their subcategories. Next is their typing, which will be their typing score times 6. After that is their moveset. Each Pokemon will have the following moveset, and the score of each moves will be based on the move's base power, multiplied by 1.5 if it is stab, multiplied by its accuracy, and plus or minus any secondary effects. The two most common secondary effects are applying status condition or causing stat changes. Pokemon will gain additional points equal to half of the chances of applying status conditions, or change by 25 for each stage the move increase/decrease a stat. The final factor is Pokemon's abilities. Abilities will only be factored into the Pokemon score if Pokemon's abilities are certain, guaranteed, and quantifiable, unless otherwise stated. Hopefully you understood that. This is how the full formula looks like. Let's just start.
Yeah, to save time as usual, and to speed things up, only a Pokemon's final form will be calculated. Also, won't be going into depth of a Pokemon scoring until the top 10, because nobody wants to hear all of this. And final thing is, Pokemons are more likely to rank higher if they excel in a singular stat, such as HP, speed, or one of their attacking stats. As usual, items aren't included while making this list, and just know, I don't really choose where the Pokemon ranks, I just choose the formula used to rank them. In 10th is Goldengo. His stats split classified as a special sweeper and have a build score of 392, with his other build being 316.5. Goldengo has a typing of Ghost and Steel to give her typing score of 9, and will have the moveset of Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Nasty Plot for an average move score of 106, paired up with the ability Good as Gold to give it a bonus 10 points, and end up with the final score of 720.5. In 9th is Iron Boulder. His stats split classified as a physical sweeper and have a build score of 426, with his other build being 323. Iron Boulder has a typing of Rock and Psychic to give her typing score of 5, and will have the moveset of Mighty Cleave, Zen Headbutt, Mega Horn, and Swords Dance for an average move score of 103, and a final score of 721. In 8th is Iron Tread. His stats split will classified as a physical sweeper and have a build score of 383, with its other build being 325. Iron Tread has a typing of Ground and Steel to give her typing score of 11.5, and will have the moveset of Earthquake, Iron Head, Mega Horn, and Stealth Rock for an average move score of 112, and a final score of 727. In 7th is Chi-Yu. His stats split will classified as a special sweeper and have a build score of 420, with its other build being 282.5. Chi-Yu has a typing of Dark and Fire to give her a typing score of 8, and will have the moveset of Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Psychic, and Nasty Plot for an average move score of 103, paired up with the ability Beads of Ruin for a bonus 25 points, and end up with the final score of 737. In 6th is Palafin Hero Form. His stats split will classified as a physical sweeper and have a build score of 470, with his other build being 334. Palafin has a typing of Mono Water to give her a typing score of 3, and will have the moveset of Flip Turn, Drain Punch, Body Slam, and Protect for an average move score of 85, and a final score of 740. In 5th is Tinglu. His stats split will classified as a tank and have a build score of 437.5, with his other build being 287.5. Tinglu has a typing of Dark and Ground to give her a typing score of 5, and will have the moveset of Earthquake, Throat Chop, Body Slam, and Stealth Rock for an average move score of 108, paired up with its ability for a bonus 25 points, and end up with a final score of 744. In 4th is Iron Hands. His stats split will classified as a tank and have a build score of 407, with its other build being 355. Iron Hands has a typing of Fighting and Electric for a typing score of 8.5, and will have the moveset of Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Earthquake, and Belly Drum for for an average move score of 114 and a final score of 749. And third is Fluttermane. His stat split classified as a special sweeper and have a build score of 472.5, with his other build being 272.5. Fluttermane has the typing of Ghost and Fairy to give it a typing score of 9, and will have the moveset of Moonblast, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Calm Mind for an average move score of 105 and a final score of 768. In second place is Koraidon. His stat split classified as a physical sweeper and have a build score of 472.5, with his other build being 365. Koraidon has the typing of Fighting and Dragon to give it a typing score of 0.5, and will have the moves have Collision, Course, Outrage, Flare Blitz, and Swords Dance, boosted by its ability for an average move score of 160, and end up with a final score of 818. In first place and the best calculated Pokemon of the Paldea region is Miraidon. His stat split classified as a special sweeper and have a build score of 472.5, with its other build being 365. Miraidon has a typing of Electric and Dragon to give it a typing score of -0.5, and will have the moveset of Electro Drift, Draco Meteor, Overheat, and Calm Mind, boosted by its ability for an average move score of 167 and a final score of 819. Yeah, here's a graph of how the top 10 Paldean Pokemon based on scoring compared to each other would look like. Just know, as always, items and abilities aren't taken into consideration unless the abilities are guaranteed to happen. And for those wondering about the ability Quark Drive and Photosynthesis, this is how the new top 10 would look like if all Pokemon were holding the item booster. Fluttermane would now take the top spot as it would be boosting its speed. As you can see, most of the Paradox Pokemon that got boosted highly are those with high speed, since their ability gives a higher stat increase to those of high speed stat compared to any other stat. And yeah, that was my ranking of the Paldean Pokemon. What would you guys give it a 10? Koraidon and Miraidon are at the top, so I guess that's good enough, but I don't know. And yeah, that's about it.